All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS slate. We're near takedown position, and last night's total opposite. We went with a red stack. Hold on, I'm trying to load it up. We went cheap for pitcher. We went with Montgomery just to get better bats for cores. We ended up going with Cincy and then like a 4-2-2 stack. We went with Cincy and the two Seattle bats and two San Diego bats. It was just brutal, just absolutely terrible. Lance Lynn got 49 yesterday. That's insane. You got any takeaways from yesterday's weird slate?
Um, no, it was just tragic. Um, once I saw yesterday, like I think like three bets in a row on my Twitter feed about Kalenic over RBIs, hits, whatever. And right when I saw that, I should have knew to fade his ass, and he went 0 for 4. Um, but other than that, I mean, the offenses didn't show up, and when you pay down for pitcher and the offenses don't pop, you're toast. Even though the top pitchers yesterday really didn't get there like we expected. They were all just in kind of tough spots. Gausman ended up looking pretty good, but Lynn was the only serviceable outing, I'd say. I mean, Javier at 10K, only giving you 5Ks is like, eh.
And I even made it, I think before we started recording, I was like, oh, play the Guardians against Lance Lynn. And he just went like 7 innings. It was just like a weird slate. Let's jump into this. Let's start with pitching. So pretty cut and dry here. Strider number one, Garrett Cole, Eovaldi, Bassett, Burns, Senga. I don't even think we need to spend much time on this. Spencer Strider.
Yeah. I mean, that's just it. Uh, I mean, I guess you could go to Cole. I won't. Strider's just elite, elite form right now. Evaldi 10-8, just a little too overpriced for me, especially against Atlanta. Tough matchup. Bassett about $1,000 overpriced after his complete game. Burns, I'd just rather not. Senga, he has a pretty good price compared to his DraftKings price, but I'd also just rather find the 2K for Strider, and then the other guys are just not even close. Uh, so it's pretty much Strider or bust for me and like half the field, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand if you want to save $500 of your salary to go to Cole. I guess you can go Senga because Senga's projected for 13%. Strider is projected for 41. Like if Strider was like 25 and it was a little bit more spread out, I can understand trying to get a little different, but I mean 41 is just too high to pass up sometimes. Especially with like a smaller slate like this, it's kind of like why take that chance? Eovaldi
Yeah,
too overpriced. I mean, there really isn't much to like besides like Strider and maybe Cole.
yeah, I think that's it. I mean, the pricing around the other guys is just not right. Like with the Evaldi and Bassett, just like $1,000 overpriced after their last outings against what Oakland, and Bassett completing a game against who was it? I can't remember. Uh, oh, was it the Braves? Probably.
Who?
Wait, who did Bassett throw his complete game against?
I have no clue. I'll look it up real quick.
Got it. Yeah, it was the Braves. But yeah, just don't really like anything else that's standing out here. Strider is the move. No, we'll die on that hill with everyone else.
All right. Well, that's enough of pitchers. Makes our life a lot simpler. So here are the stacks. You got Boston, Houston, Seattle. Just gonna skip over the White Sox. I'm kidding. They're they're so back, it's unbelievable. Tampa Bay, Cleveland Mets. What's standing out? Because you can definitely get away with Boston, Seattle, stack Houston's in a good spot. Totally unbiased. I think the White Sox are in a decent spot. Wouldn't really prioritize them, but they're okay. What's standing out?
Yeah, I think Houston is probably my number one here, and it's really just more of a price tag sort of thing. Tucker at 3-1, Pena 3K, Bregman 2-8. I mean, the only one you got to pay up for is Jordan at 4-3, but I think with the rest of the prices, you can easily get there. Um, I mean, you just never see Tucker below like 3-5, so 3-1, pretty nice to see. Pena, same thing. Um, and if Bregman could just stop being terrible and play like Alex Bregman, he would not be a 2-8 player. He used to be like a 3-7, 3-8 type guy. So, I'm willing to put Houston as my number one right now. Boston looks pretty good too. Can't complain about them. They looked pretty good yesterday. Um, Seattle, I guess, even though I swear every time we play them, they just let us down. Tampa just continues to go yard no matter who's on the mound. So if you want to play Tampa, I can't blame you. Cleveland looks to gain a little bit of ownership here against Clevenger, which makes sense because he's terrible. But if Ramirez is out of the lineup again, I won't like them as much.
Yeah, once we started talking about the stacks, I pulled up some ownership. So I looked at the ownership for the White Sox and the Mets, and I know the Mets have always let us down and they're not great, but they're playing against probably the worst pitcher in the Rays bullpen right now, and his highest scoring game was against, I can't remember who it was against, but he dropped 27 fantasy points. So I think that, they're not getting as much love now, but I mean, Lindor projected for 8, Nemo 8, Marte 8, Alonso 8, McNeil 6. I mean, definitely can get to some of those guys. Marte is known to be like at worst like low 3K. He's at 2,700. I looked up some White Sox bats too, just because I was interested. Benintendi at 12%, Tim at 11. Robert is finally getting priced appropriately for him mashing the ball, and he's at 3,600 at 8%. Then you got Sheets at 4, Yoan 3, Vaughn at 3K with 1%. I'm not saying prioritize them. It's a smaller slate, but those are definitely a couple secondary stacks, or if you want, you can mix a couple batters from each. Houston, I understand as your number one. That makes a lot of sense. I kind of want to go back to the well with Seattle. I you just can't get away from it. This Brian Bello kid is like a young prospect or something like that. So he's young and he's doesn't know how to pitch right just yet. I kind of agree with like the first 4 stacks. I can kind of understand Cleveland as much as I hate them. Do we think that Atlanta maybe shocked some people against Eovaldi?
I mean, I could see that they're probably the best offense in baseball. So I get it, especially Vivaldi's due for some regression eventually.
I want to, hold on. I want to see Atlanta's ownership because some of these guys are definitely Riley 8, Harris 8, Acuna 7, Elby's 5, Ozuna 1. I think we might have to play some Atlanta. This actually just got a lot more interesting. Yeah, there's definitely a couple pieces that like pretty good pieces you can put as a secondary stack. So one good thing about this slate. You want to do lineup generator or home runs?
We can do the generator.
All right, I believe this is day 5. So Stochastic dropped this around like this time last week. So we always play on Fanduel, so we're gonna go here. What stack we thinking today?
We haven't done a 4-4 in a minute, so we can do that. And then balanced Strider. Oh, Cleveland.
Oh boy,
I mean,
that's not too terrible actually, just based on this right here. Oh shit, Cleveland. I
they
mean,
are so
again,
cheap. Look at those price tags.
dude, I know. It is against Clevenger, so I mean, I understand it. This doesn't look too bad. All right, well, that's what we're running today. I think it's a $7 entry today for the whatever it is, 20K to first or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It does have
$7.
500 salary left over, so if you want to pivot somewhere else, you can within the stack.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it does have 500 left over. Shit. Yeah, we played Julio and Kalenic yesterday, and they let us down. And now Generator wants us to lose again. Projected for 122. All right, so we're playing that today. That should be fun. You ready for home runs?
Yep.
Lead us off.
I'll go with a fellow red. I'm gonna go Tyler Stevenson. Then I'm gonna go Charlie Blackmon. Just picked a couple from the Coors game, and then I'm gonna go Alex Bregman because he owes me.
So if he doesn't hit today, I'm gonna throw my life savings on him tomorrow to hit one out. I'm gonna go a red. I'm gonna go Jonathan India. Gonna go Randall Grichuk from Colorado and Max Muncy because he's been hot. He looks like the old Max Muncy.
Yep, hitting like 200, but all he does is hit bombs.
It's either a fly out, strikeout, or an absolute nuke to center field out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Think that's it, unless you got something else we missed.
No, I mean, just play Strider or Cole. Get different with your stacks. Ownership shouldn't be too condensed today. Maybe between 4 and 5 teams: Boston, Houston, Seattle, Cleveland, Tampa, I guess. And make sure to like, subscribe, and check out Stochastic's tools in our description.